Hello everyone and welcome to another soggy, cool Sunday afternoon chat. That's right, I said soggy. You got it, we got rain, we sure did. We were forecast an inch and we got, I wrote it down as 1.2. It was really a little bit over 1.1, but it's probably closer to 1.2 than 1.1. But we're tickled to death with it. We're very thankful with the rain that we got, and it's cooled off quite a bit. The winds died down. It was blowing pretty good just a little bit ago when I got ready to come out and do this, but the wind died down quite a bit, and so that's really great. I wanted to start off talk a little bit about Forrest. Forrest is good. He's still alive, and he doesn't appear to have any infection or anything in that wound. It's a bad wound, very bad wound. I visited with my vet, Cade Koppenberger, there at church this morning and showed him some video that I shot actually just yesterday, and we'll be sharing some of that video with you on the herd videos on Wednesday and Thursday, and maybe even on the antler videos on Friday and Saturday, and probably be doing the same thing for the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks as we kind of look and see what's going on there. But he definitely was not caused by a fight. He was not gored by another deer. He was probably caught in something. It could have been caught in a barbed wire fence. He's been through a terrible wreck, I guess you would say, and we don't have any cross fences, but he's caught. He got caught in something. We don't really know what. He was caught in something. I don't know if it could have been a trap of some sort, but he was caught in something, and he just really tore the inside of his back legs up. He was eating good this morning. I fed him a big bunch of carrots before I went to church this morning. I saw him walking out here in the yard. Shot a little video of him. I'll share that with you. I do have some video that while he's walking where you can see that wound. It's horrendous. You want to look at that. It's just amazing that he is tough enough to survive that, but he has. But I visited with Cade. Cade said the main thing is just try to keep that from getting infected, which that's what we're hoping to be able to do. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. He said the hair might even grow back over it. He has still not heard from the biologist at Oklahoma State University. We sent the pictures up that had the what gets on their tongue. They start chomping and biting, and it messed up their tongue, and we doctor the deer, and it eventually kills them. And we haven't been able to save any of the deer that got that disease. I am going to talk to my buddy up in Iowa that I get the white deer from, and I got all my deer from, as a matter of fact, in Iowa, the very best deer farm in the entire United States. He knows quite a bit. He may have seen that disease happen before. Of course, their advantage is that they can, if anything gets wrong with their deer, they get a cold or they get pneumonia, they get some sort of disease, they just run them through the chutes and doctor the whole herd. And they don't even worry about whether they're sick or not, doctor the whole herd, and it knocks out anything pretty doggone quickly. Keep in mind that deer are like humans. We have diseases, we have injuries, and we have illnesses. And humans have doctors that they go to or don't go to, depending on the individual. And the deer, we've got vets that we can go to, but not many vets are really deer specialists. And that's why our vet, who is not, I mean, he's just a regular vet and a great guy, great vet, but they're so busy, and they have all of their days booked up way in advance, or booked 2 or 3 weeks out in advance, so it's really hard to get them to come out and look at something. And particularly a deer that's running around the wild, you may or may not be able to find that deer and even take a look at him. But the biologist down at Oklahoma State is supposed to be just really fantastic on deer, and we thought that if he would just take a look at that picture, he might be able to recognize what that disease is, because it is affecting all the deer. Well, not all the deer, but some of the deer, and the deer that it's affected, it's killing them. And so that's just not a good situation. We don't want to get too much involved in that, but we'll be keeping you updated on that as we go by over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and hopefully we don't lose any more deer. And but you know, I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm just kind of at a loss of what to do right there if we can't get a professional opinion on what's happening there. By the way, I did want to mention, and I'll talk a little bit about it more before I end here today, but we are just about, we have the pecan prices down. I think they're about maybe a quarter a pound higher, $1.25 a bag higher than they have been for the last 4 or 5 years. The shipping charges we're just trying to figure out right now. Our pecan phone number, that you can write this number down, is area code 580-618-7260. 580-618-7260. We will also have the information up there on jimmyhouston.com. As soon as Sherry has the where you can find out when you order your pecans, you can find out what they're going to cost. You'll be able to, she's going to make an announcement on that and put it on Facebook, and probably shoot a little video and put it on all the other channels also, the Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing, and also the Twin Eagle Ranch channel on YouTube, as well as, of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that other stuff. So we'll have the information up there. You should be able to start ordering pecans this week. We'll probably start shipping pecans hopefully the last week in November, October, the last few days in October, first week or so in November there. We don't know just exactly what'll happen on that. I took Chris on a little some Enchanted Evening ride this week, and we just had a great time, saw some elk, went down, and we rode in some places on the lake where I had never been over there since that lake's filled up with water. And it was just amazing riding down through there in a mule, and Chris got a little scared at times, I believe, but we had a great time. We're going to take you on that ride with us. It's a little short videotape, probably about 10 minutes long, that we'll try to stick up there sometime this week on an Enchanted Evening ride with my beautiful bride, Chris. We also went to the Oklahoma University football game yesterday against Kansas, and Kansas has got the top offense in the Big 12. And they were undefeated until last week. They lost to TCU. Now they've lost 2. Oklahoma managed to score 52 points in that game. Probably could have scored more if we needed to. We gave up 42. Our defense is really, really bad. But looking around the nation, I saw where my good friends down in Tennessee beat Alabama this week. One of my buddies, Thunder Thornton, said it was the best night of his life. Best night of his life. He said he finally lived long enough to see Tennessee beat Saban, so he was so tickled to death. And Utah beat Southern Cal last night, another high-scoring affair. Oklahoma State was beaten by Baylor, TCU in another really high-scoring affair. So lots of points scored. So our defense is horrible, but it looks like that there's a lot of really top teams that's got a pretty bad defense as well. But we shot a little video at the football game. It's a very short video, also probably about 10 minutes long. We'll probably stick that up there sometime this week, just for a little fun deal. Just kind of look at what we're doing on the weekend and where we take Chris. I do have an event planned for this week. I will be down at the Cast for Kids Gala in Fort Worth. That will be at the River Ranch Stockyards. The River Ranch Stockyards is coming Thursday, October 20, 6 p.m. River Ranch Stockyards, and they have a big auction, a big gala right there, big meals, everything. All the money being raised will go for Cast for Kids. I will be the keynote speaker there that night at that event. I am going to take Chris down there with me, I believe. I mean, I'm about 90% sure that I'm going to be able to take Chris down there to that event with me down at Fort Worth, Texas, at the Cast for Kids Gala River Ranch Sweepstakes in Fort Worth, not Dallas, Fort Worth, 6 p.m. this coming Thursday, October 20. They'll have a lot of auctions you can bid on. One of the great auctions they'll have you can bid on is a fishing trip with Jimmy Houston. All of that money, I don't get a penny of it, all of that money will go to Cast for Kids, 100% of it. And so you might want to bid on that trip. We'll take that trip. We could maybe even take it this fall, but if we get some real pretty days coming up, we'll probably take that trip sometime next spring. But we'll work that out. We'll work out and take the trip. You can bid for all of their auction items online, and they'll have lots of trips. They'll have some deer hunts, some pig hunts, all kinds of fishing trips. I don't know what other professional fishermen have donated fishing trips, but I'm sure some has. And so it's just going to be really fantastic from that standpoint. You can go to castforkids.org. C-A-S-T, cast for kids, castforkids.org, and look at their auction items. The online bidding will begin tomorrow, I believe. It's when the online auction bidding. So even if you can't make it to Fort Worth tomorrow evening for that big, or not tomorrow evening, Thursday evening for that big gala, you can go at the castforkids.org website and look at what items they have that you can bid for, and you can have a chance to win one of those great fishing trips or hunting trips or all kinds of great things that they have, all kinds of really neat deal. It's just absolutely fantastic. Speaking of appearances, I did an appearance this past week at First Baptist Edmond, Oklahoma, just up in North Oklahoma City. The men up there did a great job. I tell you what, we just had a fantastic time. I met so many good men. It was a men's event. We had a packed house. They had to put extra tables out, had a great meal, and just a great evening, and lots of decisions were made for Christ, which is what it was all about. A lot of decisions are made for Christ. You know, one of the things that we are told to do is go tell the world about Jesus, and that's what I try to do at some of these church events. I get to do 15, 20, maybe 25 per year, and not very many, but I get to do a few, and that's really all I'm doing is telling folks about Christ and telling them what Jesus is doing in my life, because God is always doing something really special in my life. We did get to go fishing this past week also. I fished with Eric Johnson from over around Colgate, Ada, that area over there. Eric is the new district attorney. He is the new district attorney for the Ada area, goes clear up to Seminole and then down south. I don't think we're included in his area over here. We're about an hour and a half away from him over there. But Eric Johnson is the new DA over there, and we fished over there on the Cody Ranch. Dan Cody played football at the University of Oklahoma, a great defensive end, if I remember correctly, and good player, big boy. I mean, a big boy. But we fished 3 other lakes over there. We actually were bass fishing, and the bass fishing trip turned into a crappie trip. I think we've already stuck a little video up on that. Showed what we caught last Tuesday. We whacked them. We whacked those old big crappie. I mean, we just had a ball. And the funny thing was, I asked Eric, I said, "Are any crappie in this lake?" And he said, "I don't know, Jimmy. I've never caught a crappie over here." And actually, he caught a crappie on a red man spinnerbait. Lucky Strike red man spinnerbait is a big crappie, you know, like a 1.5 pound, 1.75 pounds. And I said, "Yeah, there's crappie in the lake." And I picked me up a little crappie magic, a little Lucky Strike crappie magic lead head, 1/8 ounce head. I put a little Lucky Minnow bait on the back of it, skirted minnow, and started whacking those crappie. And we throwed most of them back, and I asked Eric if he wanted some crappie to take home for a fish fry, and he said, "Nah, it's all right." And we kept throwing them back. He said, "You know, I might ought to do this." And so I think we ended up sticking about 20 in the live well, but we do have a video on that. So if you haven't watched that video, you can go over to Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing, so where you'll be able to watch that video. You cannot watch this video on the Twin Eagle Ranch account, because all the fishing videos are now over on Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing. Jimmy Houston Outdoors Fishing, free YouTube channel. Go over there and subscribe to that channel, and you can watch all the stuff we do fishing. We've got a lot of fishing stuff stocked. We're going to be putting a lot of videos up over there over the next several days, several weeks, several months, several years. So that's going to be a great situation also. I did want to mention that since we have broken the fishing part away from the farm channel and had Jimmy and Chris Houston's Twin Eagle Ranch channel, which is what is our largest channel now, over 121,000 people. We are, over the last week or so, been adding about 100 people a day to that channel, about 100 new subscribers a day. Doesn't cost a single penny to subscribe. It's all absolutely free, but go over there and subscribe to Jimmy and Chris Houston's Twin Eagle Ranch, Twin Eagle Ranch channel. About 100 new people a day. I want to personally welcome those of you that have come over recently within the last month or so. We've added probably a couple to 3,000 in the last month or so. Welcome to the channel. You're going to have a lot of fun here. We'll put a smile on your heart every now and then on that channel. I have a lot of stuff with our deer, our pet deer, all of the things that we go through, and we're a little different than most of the people that have farm channels that have animals, and when something goes wrong on the animal, they don't really tell you. Deer channels in particular are bad about not showing any problems that happen when deer die or get injured. We fall in love with these deer so much. This is not a commercial operation. We don't sell deer. We do not sell deer hunts. So it's all a sort of a recreational hobby deer, and an attempt to get a lot of really nice, big, beautiful deer established on our ranch right here in southern Oklahoma. And in the meantime, we fall in love with the deer. So when some of them catch a cold or get pneumonia or catch some sort of illness or sickness or injury and die, it hurts. It just hurts. There's absolutely no doubt about it, and we don't like that a bit. But we'll share that with you. We don't hide it. We don't hide it at all. We'll share exactly what happened and tell you the truth. That's all we know how to do. I did want to mention those pecans right now. Again, the Jimmy Houston Twin Eagle pecans. You'll be able to start ordering this coming week. You can call it pecan order, and you can order anytime, but we won't be able to tell you exactly what the shipping will be. My guess is You know, our government's run the shipping cost up on everything that we use, everything we eat, everything we drink, everything. Our government's run the shipping cost up on everything with this extremely high inflation that we have right now. And so the shipping might be up a little bit. I don't know. We're trying to figure that out right now, and we'll have that done this week. But you can order, call our Pecan phone line, 580-618. 7260, 580-618-7260. I think we went up about a quarter of a pound on those. 5-pound bags, the way most of them are bought in, but they will be the best tasting pecans you have ever eaten. And some of y'all might comment on here, for some of the other people who are new to this channel and doesn't know anything about Jimmy Houston pecans. Some of y'all might comment about the pecans you've got over the last several years and how great they are, how great they taste. The reason they're so good, these are fresh pecans. We sell the majority of our pecans here on the Eagle to processors, and they process them and sell them out to everybody else. But the ones that we sell through the internet, or the personal ones we sell through the internet ourselves, they're fresh. They're never frozen. They're fresh pecans, fresh off the trees, harvested, and run through the machines, depending on how we do. If you just get pecan halves, or if you get what we call custom cracked, which is run through cracking machines where you still got the holes and everything, but they're very easy to pick out. Kind of a fun deal to pick out with you and your kids or whatever. It doesn't take long to hull a 5-pound bag of pecans at all, because it's been run through the cracking machines, and they're just very, very easy to do. But they're fresh pecans. They're fresh pecans. They will taste better than any pecan you've ever eaten. If you do not buy fresh pecans here in November and December here in southern Oklahoma or southern Georgia or Texas or anywhere down where pecans are grown here in the United States, if you do not buy them this year from a grower, for stand on the side of the road that's getting them right directly from a grower, they're not going to be fresh pecans. They're going to be pecans that's frozen. Some of them may even be from last year, the year before, something like that. So try fresh pecans. You will notice an amazing difference, So you'll be able to start ordering those pecans this week. I think we'll also have some stuff up there on jimmyhouston.com about that as well. The newsletter, free newsletter we have, Jimmy Houston Outdoors newsletter. We send that newsletter out the first of every month. The next one goes out is November 1. If you are not receiving the newsletter, all you got to do is let us know your email address. We don't have to know your phone number, don't have to know anything else but your email address. And you can go to jimmyhouston.com, and there's a place on there where you can go in there and enter your email, and we will send you that. That email free, completely free, the first of every month. Very, 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 very informative, very in tune with the time of the year it is, and there'll be a lot of stuff in there that can really help you. My grandson Kyle does that email, and he does a lot of research, and he has some very, very, very interesting stuff there. You will really love that without a doubt. So anyway, get in there, and if you want to receive that Jimmy Houston Outdoors newsletter once a month, comes by email, doesn't cost a penny. Just give us your email address, and we will put you on that list, and you'll start getting them beginning November 1, which is just right around the corner. I want to end this thing by talking about something that's very, very dear to my heart, and that is being an encourager. Encouraging other people that you run into in the course of your everyday living. I hear a lot of people talking about, what would Jesus do? Or I want to be like Jesus. I want to be more like Jesus. Well, if you want to be more like Jesus, become an encourager. Jesus was an encourager. Jesus encouraged people and caused their life to be better by his encouragement. He obviously healed blind people. He raised people from the dead. He made crippled people walk. He did all kinds of things, but he encouraged them. Everybody he talked to, he built up. He made them a better person. And I think that's one thing that we need to try to do. If we want to be like Jesus, if we want to be the kind of friend we should be, the kind of parent, a mom, a dad, a grandma, a granddad, the kind of an employer, a boss that we want to be, just the kind of person we want to be. We want to encourage other people to do better. We want to give them a pat on the back. We want to find something good to say about them. We want to become an encourager. No greater encourager in the world than Jesus Christ himself. I heard my preacher, Chopper McCartney, make that statement this morning. I'm going to take him at his word. And Jesus was a great encourager. And you want to be like Jesus, become an encourager. Find something good to say about everybody you can and encourage them. I talk about living life with enthusiasm, living life as an exceptional type person. I guess that's EEE, exceptional, enthusiasm, and encourage. You do all that, and I tell you what, you're going to change some people's life out there for the better this week. One of those lives that's going to be made better is your own. Guys and girls, have you a great one out there. Thank you, Lord, for the rain. Oh, I appreciate it so much. Oh, I appreciate it so much. And I know there's going to be more coming. We may have a soggy, wet November. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Those of you around the Fort Worth area, Cast for Kids, River Ranch Stockyards, this coming Thursday, October 20th, 6 p.m. If you want to look at the auction items that's up for bid, all that money that you spend on that, by the way, is tax deductible. One of the auction items will be a fishing trip with Jimmy Houston right here, right behind me on Twin Eagle Lake, and we'll catch them. I promise you, we'll catch them. That online action, go to CAST, C-A-S-T, Cast for Kids, not cars, CAST, C-A-S-T, castforkids.org, and I think beginning tomorrow you can start bidding on those online auctions. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. Have you a great one this week. I hear thunder over here somewhere. It sure sounds like thunder to me. And remember, I sure do love you.